What's going on, guys? I'm David Oliver and welcome to my YouTube channel.
I can't seem to look away.
I'm going to start off with thanking everyone for all the love and support on TikTok. As of right now, I'm at 34,000 followers. Before I was into cars, I was into BMX and skateboarding. And after a long day of BMXing and skateboarding, something wouldn't be right. I'd break something, and that's where it all started. I picked up my first wrench and I just went to town. I mean, I'm kind of self-taught. I'd take stuff apart and put it back together. I actually have a couple buddies that would help me out, and that's kind of where it all really started. And then from there, it went to stealing my parents' cars on the weekends, and I taught myself how to drive at a really young age. I think it was 14. And yeah. All right, you guys have probably been wondering what car this is behind me. This is my 1995 Nissan 240SX. All right, I apologize for all the background noise. There's gonna be a lot of it. I guess now is not the best time to record, but this is my second 240SX. My first one I bought when I was 18, fresh out of high school. And on my way to work one day, an old man cut me off and slammed on his brakes, and I rear-ended him, and legally I'm at fault because I hit him. I don't agree with that, but insurance didn't get involved or anything, so the car was just totaled and I was out of a car. So I had a 2006 Pontiac GTO before this one, and I told everyone I missed JDM so much, so I had to get another one, and I told everyone I would get another one, and here I am. And this is my Time Attack track spec 240SX. I am the third owner of the car, and I think, in my opinion, being the third owner from a car from 1995 is actually a really good thing. Yeah, and if anyone knows what a 240SX is, you know that it's the go-to choice for a drift car. You don't see many Time Attack builds like this one for this car specifically. Not sure why. But yeah, most people think of 240SX, they think drift car, and this one is not a drift car. It is a Time Attack car. It does drift very, very nicely though. It does have VLSD in the rear end, so it locks up the rear end pretty much all the time. So it acts as a welded diff sometimes, but it's not a welded diff. VLSD is just the LSD in like the 350Zs, and what it does, it locks up both rear ends when cornering for better stability, I believe. Not really too sure, but it's really tight, and everyone asks me, is it a drift car? It is not a drift car, but it can drift. Yes, it can drift. I love the car. It's been one of my dream cars since I can remember. The handling is just great. My first one had no power steering. It was still the funnest thing to drive. They're lightweight, pretty easy to modify. Parts were cheap. Parts are getting more expensive now because it's an older car. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with it. Yeah, it's got the RPF ones on all fours. It's got the fender flares. All four tires are bald. I'm gonna get some new ones, don't worry. And right now, the car is on all four jack stands because I'm in the middle of an engine swap. And if any of you guys had me on TikTok, you know that my name is LSXR_SILVETTE, Silvette. This is an LS swapped vehicle. Right now, this car is equipped with a 5.7 liter Chevy V8. It is the aluminum LS6 block with LS1 heads. Unfortunately, I'm having to do the swap earlier than I wanted to because I was on my way to a meet one day and the oil pressure just started dropping and it was puffing white smoke. So the rings went bad, and I told myself if I have to pull this engine apart, I don't want to have to do it again. So I recently just purchased a 6.0 iron block from some guy on Facebook Marketplace for a decent price. It was the only one available around my area. I was willing to drive 6 hours, and I'm so glad I didn't have to. There was one located in Gurnee, which isn't too far from here, and he wanted $1,000 for a complete engine, wire harness, and everything. So I bought the 6.0, and as soon as I got it home, me and my buddies immediately started tearing it apart. And there's a bin in the back of my garage right now that is full of 6.0 parts. We tore it down all the way down to the block. I dropped it off at the shop that it's being built at, and it's being built as we speak right now, so I can pull the old 5.7 out. The only reason why this isn't out right now is because I actually don't know why. I guess I could pull it out pretty soon. I'm just not in a rush because my engine's still in the shop and I just don't want an engine sitting somewhere in my garage. So I just feel like that would get in the way. Everything on the engine has been pulled off. It's ready to be pulled. Wire harness, everything's taped off so I can read everything and make sure everything goes where it's supposed to go. All the aftermarket pumps, we got the AccuSump disconnected. The oil pan relocation kit is disassembled. The headers on both sides are disconnected. This one's gonna have to stay in the car though because the steering column runs right straight through the header, so that's gonna stay in the car when it's pulled. The only thing that's not disconnected is the wire harness going down to the transmission. The one-piece aluminum drive shaft still needs to be disconnected from the differential, and the exhaust is hanging on by about 1 bolt, and all this is really pretty easy. But other than that, we're gonna try and pull the engine and trans out in one piece. Hopefully I don't bang up too much stuff, but you never know. If I can't get the engine and trans out in one piece, then I'm gonna have to disassemble the transmission and pull them both separately, but I'm about 90% sure I can get both of them out in one piece without banging up too much stuff. So other than the engine modifications, in the engine bay we have the AccuSump. The AccuSump is important. It forces oil through the system, so there's no oil starvation. I have the oil bypass can or catch can, whatever. And then I got the Dirty Dingo bracket. I got the little Megan Track strut tower bar. I have a coolant overflow tank, and that's about it under the engine bay. Other than that, there's a lot of wires going everywhere. This car has underglow and there's wires and stuff all throughout here. This does have a custom front end bracket on it, so the bumper sits up top. The bumper's in the back of the car right now because it just gets in the way, but the bumper sits, obviously the front bumper sits up front, but it's held in by these two little pins. And then my Sylvia, where's she at? Come here. And then this sits right here. It's got two, this is all custom. It's got two little brackets that slide into these little holes right here. And that's what makes it sit flush and look good. Up front for the brakes, we have 300ZX Brembo brake pads. It's a Brembo setup. And in the rears, we have G-Lock brakes. My RPF ones are pretty beat right now. But yes. And then for the livery, right now this wrap has been on the car for the last 10 years. It is a royal blue color. I love the color. See if you can see that. See it real good. I don't have that good lighting, but it's a royal blue. And yes, the previous owner did the time attack in the vehicle. So he did the wrap himself. I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean, for 10 years, for being on the car for 10 years, I think it looks pretty good. You guys tell me. Here's the front bumper behind the car. It's got a birch splitter, so this is made out of wood. It was 3D printed by the previous owner. There's an air duct tunnel that goes straight into the radiator to keep the thing cool, because it is an LS. I got a single exit. I do want a dual tip, maybe like a 4-inch dual tip. Currently looking for dual tip ISR blast pipes. We got the aftermarket taillights. They're clear. I'm not really a big fan of them. I do want original OEM Kuki taillights. I think those look a lot better in my opinion. And then up top we have the 9 Lives racing wing. It kind of grew on me. It took a while for me to like it. I thought it was too big at first, but it is actually a $900 wing, and the previous owner told me if you're gonna take it off, don't sell it for cheap. Now this wing is made out of the same material that bleachers in like a high school stadium are made out of. It is very strong. I could stand on this thing and it would not flex. I'll have to show you guys at some point. You have the carbon fiber trunk pins on both sides. The battery is located in the trunk along with a switch, a kill switch. Yeah, this is a race car. It's not in the perfect condition. There are a couple nicks here and there, but I mean, it's a race car. It's seen track time, so I'm not surprised. It's still perfect in my opinion. If we go on to the interior, on the interior we have the NRG quick release steering wheel. It's not the dingy one because I think that's ridiculous. It's a track car, so everything in the car is functional. It's for purpose. We have the race-equipped 5-point harness seats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have a, I don't know how to pronounce that seat, but we have that for the driver's seat. And then for the passenger seat, we have an Sparco Evo seat. Right under the Sparco Evo, we have a fire extinguisher. Taught my girlfriend how to use it just in case. Carbon fiber shift knob, short shifter. This thing does have push start. We have an air fuel gauge, a police radar that's not wired up right now. We have the oil pressure gauge, the oil temp gauge, and the water temperature gauge. This is a switch T to activate the AccuSump. We have underglow, you know, for the JDM scene, you know, it looks good. We have this sticker for COVID. We want COVID to go away. But for the interior, that's really it, other than the auto power roll bar in the back, along with the there's another strut tower bar back there as well. You can't really see it. Again, this car is full interior, other than the sunroof track. The sunroof track was pulled. I guess it stopped working, and the previous owner said we don't need it anyways. So this sunroof is actually glued into place. I don't mind it. I do wish it was black though. I think that's either paint or wax. I'm not sure. But yeah, other than that, that's it for the interior. It does have the regular seatbelts as well, but I think I'm gonna pull them out because we don't need them. I forgot to mention these, but we have a Mishimoto radiator, and we also have the LS1, the stock LS1 fuel intake. I'm not sure what intake manifold I'm going to run on the 6.0. I don't think I'm going to use that one. I'm probably going to get a 102 fast intake, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have to get new fuel rails or not. I'm not sure what brand these are, but they're aftermarket, and I just want to know if they're going to fit on what I get next. So yes, right now this car has a set of, what are they, 806 heads? Yeah, 806 heads. And on my 6.0 that's coming in, I have a set of 317 heads. We got some carbon fiber down here. Nothing too fancy. It's seen better days. Got the carbon fiber Sibon hood. I love the way it looks. It's dirty right now. I'm gonna try and get you the best shot I can of it. Love the way it looks with the vents. It does help a lot with cooling because the LSs do get hot. This does help a lot as well. Gets all that hot air out of there, sucks it all out. Now, because this car was designed for a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, hence the name 240SX, the firewall is really thin, and with this big LS in it, it gets extremely hot in there. And right now I'm looking to order 2 fans, one for each side on the interior, to attach to the roll bar, the auto power bar, to try and blow some of that hot air around in the vehicle, at least get some of that stuff out, because it is obnoxiously hot. Now I did just pick up this GoPro Hero 7 so I can attach it to my auto power roll bar so I can get some point of view footage for you guys. And I think it's gonna look great. The quality on these things is amazing. And if any of you guys are interested in this shirt, if you haven't noticed, that's my car. I'm making a couple, and I think I'm gonna toss them out at whatever first meet I go to when my car is back up and running. All right, guys, I think that's gonna conclude today's video. I think I covered as much as I could today. Now, this is my first YouTube video. I started YouTube because on TikTok, everybody's like, do you have a YouTube? Do you have a YouTube? And I just kept saying, no, I don't. And so today I took it upon myself to get started. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys.